Hi guys, it's Bella. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing better late than never. Okay, we are doing our June monthly reading wrap up. We're going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of June and going through my ratings and reviews of each one. I read a total of 15 books in June, which honestly I'm really proud of myself for because I've kind of been slowly reading this year. I'm in a bit of a slump just with pregnancy. I feel like my mind can't focus on books. So I'm really proud of myself for reading 15 last month. So let's just get right into it. Let's go over all 15 books that I read in June and subscribe to my channel if you guys like book videos, and let's just get right into it. The first book that I read in June was With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. And this was actually an ARC that I got on NetGalley. So thank you to them for giving me the e-ARC of this book. I did rate it 3.5 stars. So a woman named Anna secretly invites 6 different passengers on this train. And they're the only ones on the train. And it's a 13-hour train ride because she has proof that these 6 people conspired against her family 12 years ago and got them all killed. So she has essentially trapped them on a train and told them that they're going to be arrested when they get to their destination. They all start dying. Like, people are getting knocked off left and right almost immediately, and everyone's really panicked because that means that someone on the train is a killer and they need to, figure out who is killing off all these different people. There is a few twists and some actual shocking reveals, I feel like. Riley does a really good job of making you think you know who the killer is and then being like, okay, wait, no. Then they show up dead and you're like, okay, no, it was not them. Okay, cool. I did enjoy this book a lot. I enjoyed reading it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't oh my god, amazing thriller vibes. I was bored a decent amount of it. And it wasn't really thrilling. No part of it was thrilling. It was just mysterious. You just wanted to solve the mystery, but you weren't on the edge of your seat, if that makes sense. Second book that I read was Silver Elite. Finally, I feel like everyone is obsessed with this book. And I did in fact give it 5 stars. I feel like the internet is really split on this book. Some people are like, oh my god, amazing. And then the other half of the internet is like, this book is literally garbage. So I loved it. I had a great time reading it. And I feel like I haven't had this much fun reading a book in a really long time. So if that tells you something, I definitely recommend this book a lot. It's a dystopian romance. Our main character's name is Ren, and she has been hiding her identity as a modified human for most of her life. Basically, a biotoxin wiped out most of Earth's population 150 years ago, and some people were immune to the toxin, while others, like Ren, gained psychic abilities. She ends up in the hands of the enemy and is forced to join their elite training program. And there's enemies to lovers. I did actually cry, bawled multiple times during this book. Wasn't expecting that. Loved every single side character. The male main character is just amazing. Loved him. His name is Cross, and I would actually put him in my top 5 book boyfriends of all time. So we loved this book, 5 stars. Then I really switched it up and we read Margs Got Money Troubles, which the premise of this book is so ridiculous. Margot has a baby at 20 years old with her college professor. He is married, so they have an affair, and he basically wants nothing to do with her. He's like, I can't believe you're having this baby, and she's like, well, too bad for you. He really hits rock bottom and needs to figure out how is she going to support herself and her new baby, and how does she decide to do that? By selling exclusive content on OnlyFans. So ridiculous, this premise of a book. It's hilarious. So the book is really just all about her creating content, meeting other creators and collaborating with them. Starts making really good money for herself and her son. The other main plot point of this book is a pretty serious custody battle that she ends up going through with the professor, because then he suddenly wants interest in his kid's life, and so he tries to fight her on custody, which is just amazing. He sees her as an unfit mother, and it's her basically standing up for herself and her line of work and showing that she's, still a normal working great mom and doing this as her job. And I loved that. It's a really fun, super silly read. Honestly, Margot is a great main character. I mean, she's so fun and she's really strong, and I'm just inspired by her. But it was really weird reading something so modern. I was like, oh, This is like nothing I've ever read before. But I did give it a 3.5 stars. So I did enjoy it. Atmosphere by my absolute queen, Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did give this 4 stars. This is a book I would have never ever considered picking up. The plot, like none of it interested me. Just the fact that it's Taylor Jenkins Reid is the only reason I read it. It takes place in the 80s. Our main character's name is Joan, and she is selected from a pool of thousands of applicants to begin training at Houston Johnson Space Center alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates who are all the side characters in this story. It goes back and forth between 2 different timelines. One is her training at the space camp, and the other is a mission that goes terribly wrong a few years later that is really intense, really thrilling, and it's crazy to read. Those are my favorite chapters to read because of how intense the moment was. It was like just, you know, really intense. And then it would go back to like more chill, like training camp, like building relationships storyline, which wasn't as fun to read, but it's important. It is like a secret sapphic romance because it's the 80s. The ending got me. I really cried my eyes out, and Taylor Jenkins Reid can take any subject, like astronauts, tennis. I mean, she can literally take anything and make me so invested in it and just care so much. Like, she is truly just one of the best authors I've ever read. Like, she's just incredible. So 4 stars for her. I have Megan Quinn's new book, Till Summer Do Us Part. And Megan Quinn is the author that I go to when I just need a fun, quick, quirky romance book. Her book, what's it called? How My Neighbor Stole Christmas Last Christmas is one of my top 10 books of last year. I freaking loved it. I cannot wait for the second one to come out this year. So I was excited when this one came out. I did give it 3 stars. So our main character's name is Scotty, and she lies to her boss and tells her that she's like having marriage problems because everyone in her office is married and she's the only one who's not, and she wants to fit in with her coworkers. And so she's brought on this couples retreat with everyone in her office and is like, oh my god, I need to find someone to play my fake husband. Her best friend Micah ends up offering up his brother because he's rich and he's retired. He sold an app, so he's, you know, just living off that money, and he loves to improv, so he's the perfect candidate for this job. They pretend to be like a fighting couple going through marriage issues, going into this retreat, and then they slowly start to fall in love. Her books are just always really fun and really ridiculous, but not like groundbreaking in any way. Like, I don't feel like I've gained something super important while reading her books. I did get really annoyed with how many times Scotty's ex got brought up during this book. Like, they would literally be in the middle of having an intimate moment and she'd be like, oh, my ex, his name was Matt. Matt never let me do this, or I always wanted to do this on Matt. And it's like, way to ruin the moment by always bringing up your ex. So that was like always a huge turnoff for me. And one last thing, honestly, didn't love the main character. I mean, she was really annoying. So because of that, it was 3 stars. But the concept of this book and some of the like really ridiculous moments made it really fun. Then I finally read Fairyale because it's actually getting traditionally published. So I got like an e-arc of the traditionally published version. This is the indie cover, and I'm so glad I finally read this book. Oh my god, it was 5 stars. Absolutely devoured it. It's about an orphaned school teacher who is sent a letter by her biological father, who has just recently passed away, and she needs to go to the town of Fairyale for the will reading and a promised large inheritance, okay? But everything about Fairyale is really weird and mysterious, and as the reader, you're like really confused and you're not sure what is real and what is not, and it's very haunting. It's like you just don't understand what's actually happening. It was a slow burn, but once it hits, the spice takes off. It is the fated mates trope, which we love. But during the day, she's falling for this man who lives across the street, but at night, another man is haunting her dreams. and it's a man who lived thousands of years ago. And so she's kind of between these two men, and she's just like not sure what's actually real and what is not real. The book is told over 3 different timelines. I really do feel like this could have been multiple books actually, because of how much was packed into it. Like so much happens actually. I do love the dark vibes from this author. I will be picking up the traditionally published version when it comes out, and I will keep my eye out for more from this author because I just love this. Okay, then I like really switched gears and I read my first self-help book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and I didn't want to give this book a rating. I didn't like it. I really didn't. I couldn't relate to most of it. Like the subjects in it were very, very niche. Like there's a whole chapter on dealing with a breakup, and I'm like, okay, I'm married. Like I don't need to be reading this right now. I do recommend listening to the audio version of this book though, because it felt more like a podcast than a book. Another thing is the amount of times that she says the let them theory in this book is crazy. I mean, I wish I counted. It's probably like 3,000. Like actually, she says it so much. I was like, oh my god, I get it. I get it. I did highlight one quote though that I want to read you. It is, someone is always going to be disappointed in the decisions that you make, so just don't let that person be you. I love that quote, so that's all I'm gonna say about it. Oh my gosh, I read such good books this month. Wow, okay. Then I moved on to Never Keep by the Twisted Sisters. They are the same people that wrote Zodiac Academy, one of my favorite series of all time. Oh my god, this freaking series is so good. 5 stars all around the board, 6 stars. I just eat up their writing, okay? It's dual point of view between 2 different women. One is Vesper and the other is Everest. Really cool ass names, okay? Just starting off the bat, cool freaking names. Basically, everyone is at war. All the different elements are fighting. Water, earth, air, fire. There's the different lands. They all hate each other. They're in just constant war. Vesper is part of air and Everest is part of water. There is a school that is in like the neutral zone where everyone goes for training to then later fight each other in a war, which is like pretty ironic. But it is where all 4 elements students can go and learn and train, and it is a neutral zone, so you can't kill anyone at the school. It's really to harness their powers. There are so many secrets going on at the school with like the higher powers, and both Vesper and Everest are trying to independently uncover the secrets in their own stories. There's romance subplots, there's betrayals, scary, very sexy men, lots of them. Tons of secrets are revealed, lots of war, fighting, powers, some female friendship, and a crazy cliffhanger. So definitely recommend this. And then I read it at the perfect time because immediately after Echo Fort came out, which I actually got sent in ARC-of, and I think this is like my most cherished possession of all time. I can't even believe I have this. Which I also gave 5 stars. So it immediately continues right after Never Keep. It just goes right into the story. This had so much like character development for the main 2 girls. There are a few new point of views that are introduced, but the main 2 are still really primarily the ones you're reading. It is the slowest burns of slowest burns for the romances. Like it's almost non-existent at this point. Once it hits, hopefully in the next book, it is going to hit so freaking hard. I mean, Zodiac Academy also was like incredibly slow burn with those freaking romances, so I'm not surprised that this is taking now 3 books for them to even like look at each other, but you know. Craziest ending. Can't even believe that's how they ended it. You're basically unsure if a character has just died or not, and it is intense. So 5 stars. The next one comes out I think in like February, so we have quite a while. And I got another ARC. It is Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell, which is actually my first book I've ever read from her, but I know that her other ones are pretty highly rated. It was a gripping story. I literally did not want to put it down. It follows a few different perspectives, and basically a man is a con artist who lies about literally everything and scams women out of their money to then fund his other relationships with other women. And it's all about like them connecting all the pieces and finding each other. You know who the bad guy is like the whole time, obviously, because you just know as the reader, but it was so fun to see all these women like connected and then him get justice in the end. Loved it. 4 stars. We gotta talk about this book. Blood and Betrayals by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune, and this is actually an ARC I got from them. It's like a super exclusive special edition. It has our main male character on the front. This took me 4 months to read, and I finally like locked in this month to finish it because I hate unfinished books. I have a lot to say, so let's talk about it. She is Black Cat. He is very Golden Retriever. I originally DNF'd this book at 30%. I was like, I actually cannot do this, but I'm glad I powered through, okay? I like a mailman character that is strong and broody and like the darker side of the relationship, and Connor, our MMC, is quite literally the opposite. I mean, he is the nice guy, and he was basically begging our female main character to be his girlfriend, and that I didn't like. It was basically insta love, literally my least favorite trope of all time. Another issue I have with it is her nickname for him is Big Guy. I'm sorry, Big Guy is not something I want to be reading in like every single conversation they have. It also reminds me of the Hulk, because I'm pretty sure she literally calls him Big Guy when she's trying to get him to go out of Hulk form, if I am correct. Do not like that nickname. I do not vibe with it. There are 3 other men in this story that are way more interesting than Connor, and I hope that one of them ends up being the actual love interest. I doubt it, but I hope. This man, I don't vibe with him, okay? I do feel like this book is way too long. I mean, it is 800 pages. It should have been 500 because there's so much that happens in this book that just does not matter. I mean, I don't even think it got good until 70%. And the best part was probably the very last chapter. Really crazy ending, cliffhanger. I do want to keep reading this series though, like their next one I do want to read because I really want to find out more about those 3 other men. So, we'll see. Next is a book. That's not it. Pink Frontier. It was actually sent to me by the author, so thank you so much. This was a really fun read. I read it in 1 sitting. I did give it 3 stars. It's about a girl who has a really hard life and she decides to leave home in search of adventure. She ends up at a brothel in Nevada and learns to work for herself. She gains female friendships, and then she ends up falling for a man she thinks is going to change her life and get her out of the brothel and take her to Vegas, which is her ultimate dream. Literally nothing is what it seems for this woman. I mean, she just goes through so much. I thought the writing was really good. It was really descriptive, but also not a lot happened in the book. And my personal favorite parts were all the girlhood moments that happened at the brothel in Nevada. I thought those were really fun relationships. And the book ends like extremely abruptly. Like, I don't love how it ended, but I did have a good time reading it. I thought it was a really unique story, so I did give it 3 stars. Okay, I'm missing the next one, but they go hand in hand basically. Us Dark Few by Alexis Patton. This is the second one, Us Deadly Few, but Us Dark Few is the first one. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. Our main female character, her name is Kalani. She has never seen Earth's surface, and she has lived her entire life underground in a city called Apollo. The rich are the ones who live above ground in like a protective dome-like structure. Art and books are banned, and she is caught with a forbidden book and accused of treason and is then sent to like the harsh prison underground. One of the main like places in this book is the library, and I love when libraries are like main focal points of books. Like, they're just cozy vibes and I just love it. Very enemies to lovers, forbidden romance. They're trying to uncover secrets about the government, and then the story ends on like a really big cliffhanger. But the story is like extremely similar to Fallout. So if you've played that game or if you've watched the show, I mean, it's really similar to it. And then Us Deadly Few is the second one. It starts off immediately after the first one. And unfortunately, this one did not pull me in like the first one did. Like, the first one was so good, and this was like completely different. They're in a totally different setting, I guess, and following a little bit of a different story from the first one. Like, it progresses a lot and I just don't like how it progressed, I guess. So much happened in this book that I didn't even feel like there was an overall plot. Like, there was 10. Like, so much was happening. Another thing is the romance, like, basically reset. So all the progress that they made in book 1 didn't matter. I didn't realize this was going to end on a cliffhanger because I thought it was only 2 books, but it's not. And unfortunately, I will not be continuing the story. I think I'm done with it. Then, last but not least, we read Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, which was a good time. I gave it 3 stars. It is the second installation after Not in Love, which I actually have up on my shelf. It follows Eli from Not in Love. It follows his sister, Maya. And she is in Italy for a week for Eli's wedding. So if you read Not in Love, it's about their wedding. So that's kind of fun. Maya has had a crush on Eli's best friend, Connor, for literally years. And I guess Connor was also in Not in Love, but I don't remember the side characters in that book very much. So maybe read Not in Love and then immediately pick this up, because then it like almost feels like a sequel. This book is dual timeline. So the current timeline is the week in Italy for the wedding, and then the past timeline is a few years ago when Connor and Maya became friends, close friends. There is a 15-year age gap between our main characters, which I love. I am also in an age gap relationship, so I connected with the vibes in this book. But they did originally meet when she was underage, which is a little bit more taboo. I feel like, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I did listen to the audiobook for a majority of it. Loved it. I thought it was so fun and I enjoyed the book a lot, but their relationship never gave me the tingles. Like, no giggling, no kicking my feet. Almost didn't feel any chemistry between them, which was unfortunate. So I did give that 3 stars. But Ali Hazelwood books are always fun, okay? They're just a good time. They're a grand old time. Okay, that is all 15 books that I read in the month of June. Let me grab them. Plus the 2 e-arcs. What a good month for me. July, not looking so hot, but June was good. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want more book videos. Stay tuned for my August TBR. How are we even saying that? August? Oh my god, this year is just flying by. I will see you guys next time when I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.